This is Dark Souls 3. I'm going to be doing a guide walkthrough from the hit list perspective, talking about the route, things that we do, things we don't do, like get hit. So first thing you want to do is press new game. That's important. It's not going to be like that. You got to make your character named Noxie, otherwise you're going to get hit. The class we pick is Assassin because of Spook, and we grab the Young White Branch so that the giant doesn't kill us in the settlement. So just to clarify the scope of this thing, like I'm making a like marathon, consistent, like, you know, you this is not gonna be a very fast run. This is like game 5 of God Run, and you need something you can like rely on guide. So we want this Ashen Estus flask up here, so we go and kill these guys with a running R1. You can just run up to them in a straight line and grab the Ashen Estus. This archer here you can either kill or ignore. I usually just run by him. He will shoot again. It'll hit the tombstone and then you just run to the left. This hollow up here can do a few things. He can run at you. You can do a quick close range attack. It's good to, like, if he runs at you, you can just, you know, run by him like that. If he does something quick, it's good to just like safety roll that. I jump here to avoid that hollow, and then I do that for style. Dodge into the R1, but you can just dodge the arrow and run through if you want. Yeah, so for Gundyr, we are going to be one-handing the rapier and just hitting with R1s. For phase 2, we are going to be doing charged R2s. Gundyr is a pretty simple fight. He has a couple fast moves that you have to be aware of, like his punch, for example. So we do 5 R1s, moving ourselves to the back here, 1 more R1, and then ready to dodge. The pokes, just dodge to the right. This one, I dodged to the right as well. I dodged to the right basically everything. This is a strafable attack, you know, so you can get a heavy attack in there. You can also strafe the grab. But I roll it because I always play DS3 late in a run, and I want a very consistent DS3. At half health, he will do his phase transition. So I switch to two-handing and charged R2s. And we try to get a stagger off. On these attacks, you can just strafe around. It's good to dodge that jumping attack, though. You can just strafe to the right here. You can see we don't get a stagger. You can play those jumping attacks way safer than that. You don't have to dodge into them like I do. You can dodge away. So, Gundyr down. That fight's really simple. You get super used to it after, you know, resets and stuff. I put my Ashen Estus on my, like, start menu toolbar. I just keep it here, and then I just always know it's there. I'm not going to be interacting with chat as much just because I want the guide to be like focused and stuff. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask. But primarily want to make sure the guide is focused because I want this up on YouTube and people to use it and stuff. So I go up here to grab the Silver Serpent Ring. To do the tree jump here, you just kind of run up the limb and just jump off of, you know, it's kind of weird, but you kind of just aim for like this area here, and then you just quickly flick the stick to the flick the stick to the right and press the jump button. I don't get it every time, but it's, you know, you get a bunch of tries at it. 3 homeward bones there, so we don't have to buy any, which is nice. There is an Estus shard here, so in some runs it's worth it to pick this up for more Ashen Estus. In this run we don't really need it, so we just skip that. And then through the illusory wall for the Silver Serpent Ring. I get the Serpent Ring because it's good to have extra souls for the beginning of the game, just with how the route works out. It's really nice to have. Thanks for the follows, guys. So yeah, next thing, before we go to Highwall, we want to talk to the Handmaiden and buy a dagger, a short sword, and then I just put the rest of my money into firebombs. So you can see I have like no souls left at this point. And then we're ready to go to Highwall. So I equipped the short sword and the staff here. And then you can menu this stuff however you want. This is just how I menu things, because I know I'm going to have the resin here, black firebombs here, and skulls here, and that's just how my brain works. I just like having it all in the same spot. So yeah, the staff and the short sword are the important things for Highwall. I'm going to be showing you a short Highwall, or sorry, not a short, a slow Highwall. There are faster Highwalls, much faster Highwalls. This is my game 5 Highwall. Like, I cannot lose this run no matter what. We need the safe way of doing everything. So it's going to be much slower than a lot of people who just run through. Running through is completely valid, but here we go. So for this part, I'd like to two-hand the straight sword because you get a nice like vertical. You get a nice vertical attack on it, and it's easy to hit the enemies. So kill that first guy, kill the guy who screams. Make sure you are fast to get to the guy who screams, because if he does scream, all these guys wake up, and that is not a good time. This is gold pine resin, very important for Vordt. Backstab this guy. I think it kills. Yeah, the short sword. If you didn't know, the short sword has 110 crit multiplier, so it actually does a little more backstab damage. So this is another super safe thing here. We aggro the spear guy and just stand behind this wall, and he's gonna patrol all the way up to us, but he's not gonna see us. And then he's gonna turn around, and then we can backstab him. And I'll even use Spook here to avoid him like hearing me as I sneak up on him. You'll note there's a crossbow archer. He should patrol away while we're doing this stuff, but keep an eye on him in case he does end up turning around to shoot at us. The spear guy usually does this weird like half rotation thing. It looks like he's not going to do it this time, but he can like fake a turnaround. So this archer, you know, you can kill it. You can, yeah, it looks scarier than it is. You can kill this guy with firebombs, or you can just like get the dragon. I'll kill him with firebombs because super safe, right? Now we go up the stairs to get the dragon, come back down the stairs, and kind of go over here. You can see none of the guys are aggroed on me. Once the breath finishes, you can run. There's no hitbox on the ground or anything. You can just run straight through here. You can see you have plenty of time before the next breath starts. Straight across here, just run a straight line to the soul. Grab it if you want. This knight will run by us. Again, you can play this stuff way, way, way faster. This is just my preference for super late in a marathon, or, you know, if I really need the win, playing this like this level of safety. Firebombs here, it's 3 firebombs, and then jump down here. There's an archer over there. He should never hit you. This is black firebombs. And then you can either heal or cast Spook here for the fall damage. And then there's an Ember here. That's 1,000 souls to sell for that Ember. And another Ember here. And then cast Spook again at this arm. And then run. And at this point, we're on a timer. It's not the worst thing in the world if you're too slow, but I run straight up the middle here. Because we have Spook, we don't aggro the sword guy. And then we just run past the shield guy. The shield guy can either do that or a slower attack or a shield bash. The only thing you have to roll is the shield bash, but it's like super telegraphed. Grab the banner from the lady. Again, we're on a timer, so we want to book it through here. Spook again, run behind these guys. And now we can see if we hit our time. It looks... Yeah, it looks good. So now we just run past this guy. You see we have plenty of space to strafe him. If he did like a spin attack there or something, we would have to dodge that, but he didn't do that. So the whole reason that I run that section like that is to make it to that guy, basically, without having to dodge or anything like that. Because if you know anything about high wall, those guys can be pretty scary. Thanks for the follows, guys. I'm not interacting with chat too much just because we're doing a guide. So for Vordt, 9 hits will send him into phase transition. And then you do 5 hits during phase transition. And then stagger his head and riposte him, and he's dead. So you can count to 9, or you can kind of just, feel it out by where his health bar is. Up to you. I like to lock on for Vordt. Some people don't. This attack, everything you roll to the left. 1, 2, he's moving, so 3. You can strafe under this or roll it. 1, 2, he's moving, so 3. Oh, I missed that one. So we're at 5 hits, 3 plus 2. 1, 2. 7 hits. And 1, 2 for phase. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a few things about Vordt you need to know. I will explain those in a second once the fight is over. Here a charged R2 to the head. I like to 2-hand for it, but you can 1-hand as well. And the stagger and the riposte, and he's dead. So Vordt is a fucking weird ass boss. The important thing is never be like directly behind Vordt if he can like hit you. So like you can stand behind him, but he has 2 attacks where he can just insta run away, and then if you're like in his hitbox at that point, you're fucked, you're dead. So stay in front of Vordt. You will never have to fight phase 2 unless you really mess up phase 1, but it's only like 5 minutes in, so it's not a huge deal. Well, for me it's longer than that, but it's early into the run. Vordt is not a problem on this run. It's something you'll get used to. There's a bit of a like rhythm to the fight. So for settlement, cast Spook, and I usually do this faster, but if you go here and then just roll off and then plunge, kill the dogs, and you can grab the skull. Good to equip the skull here. For this next part, I throw a black firebomb to kill these dogs. I have heard feedback that some people don't like black firebomb because the lineup is pretty precise. I just kind of aim my head at the top of the... Yes, and see I missed a dog there. I aim my head at the top of the arch there and kind of go at that point. But yeah, you have a backup skull if anything happens, or if you just want to throw the skull and instead of the black firebomb, that's fine too. These guys you can kill with the firebomb, or you can just roll into them to stagger them, and 3 R1s. As you can see, it's kind of like tight a little bit if you aggro both of them, so I like the firebombs there to be a little safer. This guy, run to the item, run back. 1, 2, 3 on this guy. These are bundles. These are really important. Kinda. You don't need Loretta's Bone or anything. You just run through this section. Dude, it is really hard to talk and play at the same time. Usually I'm just like focused on playing. For this one, I go in here and break these bodies, and then if the pitchfork guy follows me, I kill him with firebombs. He did not follow me this time, so I didn't get to show that off, but If you want, you can just run through here, but I like to do this for safety because I like to grab this soul here. You can do that little trick I did where I run off the table. You can also just like jump off of here and run into the bodies. Either of those things work. For here, run straight down the middle. On either side are these like cage guys that'll wake up and hit you if you're too close to them. Roll through those barrels, grab this soul here. Pick up a lot of souls on the way to kind of fund our stats and stuff like that. That's a Titanite shard. Here I two-hand the straight sword because we need to kill this lizard for the sharp gem. Sharp gem is super, super important on this run, so it's good that we can get it here. Charged R2 and an R1 with two-handing works there. And then I run behind this guy to get him to turn around. Run over this area. So this is where the giant shoots the arrows, but because we chose Young White Branch as our gift, he won't do that to us. This guy usually follows us. It's good to just kind of run past him. For here, he didn't fall off the cliff, so I'm just going to go over here for safety. Grab this Undead Bone Shard. And we need to go grab the Mortician's Ashes up there near the tree. Oh, see you, buddy. The giant will take care of all the enemies for us, so just kind of wait. There's there's two guys where you come in. Yeah, it is really hard to do it while playing. So in this area, there's two guys when you come in that'll kill with the arrows. There's another cluster of 4 like up over in this area. And then there's another 2 guys in this room. Sometimes he'll kill both of them. Sometimes he'll only kill one of them. So we'll check in a second. That's a soul. This is a Young White Branch. For this, if the prompt here says, this is really weird, if the prompt here says pillage remains, make sure to switch actions with Y or triangle. So it says examine. Otherwise you will miss the second Young White Branch here. I don't know why it does it. The game just like gives you a dud. You can either run up this slope for the Mortician's Ashes or just run around. Either is fine. Mortician's Ashes are important. They give you 6 skulls as well as a bunch of charcoal resin in bundles. This doorway, I believe this enemy is not dead, so we need to roll into him and just run through. For this part, we go over here to despawn Aldrich, who's the invader. Yeah, that is something I should mention. Aldrich can sometimes follow you to like that previous area. If he does that, just go to the safe spot that I was on with the Undead Bone Shard, and he shouldn't. He should eventually, you know, fall off. Although it does sometimes take a while. Oh, wonderful lady. Yeah, so this, I wasted too much time here. Usually you get here long before these enemies. Come over here, you have another skull too that you can use for the dog and the evangelist if you need to. I always grab this bonfire out of habit. Because sometimes I forget Mortician's Ashes, or just I need to come back here for some reason. Don't strictly need to, though. It's good not to sit there because you'd have to wait for these enemies to move again. So sometimes an enemy will get stuck on this bridge, like right where my head is. You can usually just like throw a firebomb there, and it'll either aggro them or knock them off the bridge. So that's how you can take care of them. Spook here, just to not take any damage. Here I grab the Ember and then back off because this guy aggroes. I throw 2 firebombs. You can also roll into him and kill him, but he has a really quick attack that I am always scared of. The aggro point for these 2 guys up here is basically where the body is. It's a little past the Ember, so I like to run up and then run back. And he actually threw it early, which is kind of shit, but I guess that's good RNG to show you. So they have this long charge attack where you can kind of bait it and then change the angle so that they just end up falling off. Usually they'll just throw the pot like that and fall off, but sometimes stuff happens. It's good to know how to deal with it. Another soul here. For this part, I wait for the dog to walk behind where his head's behind the tree, and then I just kind of walk over here, throw 2 fire bombs. You can also branch. You can use a young white branch here to sneak up on them, but that way that I do it is consistent as well. For this next part, we need a skull. We are going to grab the miracle lady. I forget what her name is. Spook here. Fall down. Drop down, skull immediately. And run to the ladder. Irina, yeah. And unfortunately, we're only grabbing Irina so that we can kill her. It's kind of a bummer, but you know, she has something we want, so that's how these games go. Just spam X, send her back. And then don't talk to this guy. We do not want him to go back to Firelink, because otherwise if we kill Irina, he will be not very happy about that. For this next part, I do a cool kid skip, kind of, a little bit. Sometimes it fucks up, but... spook and plunge. And then you can grab this here. You can also just wait for the elevator like a normal person, but I think it's funny to do that plunge. Grab the elevator, send it back down, because we're about to head right back up there, but we're going to get the bonfire here first. So for here, there's this like super scary Irithyll night enemy. I use a young white branch and just sneak around the right side. As long as you just hug the wall, he will not notice you. And about when you get here, you can just roll into the door, and it's not close enough for the knight to aggro. Here I like to grab the bonfire. Don't really need to rest, but I like to rest anyways. Just so I don't have to heal or anything. Hit the wall with your sword here to aggro the knight, and wait for this double X attack, that thing. And then just run by. And the knight will not aggro. The knight has a bunch of attacks, like there's a thrust, there's a frost breath, there's like a bunch of like slam attacks that are super annoying, so be patient, wait out that double X attack, because there's like a recovery period on that one. Send the elevator back up this time, or back down, I mean. I like popping souls during this part, just because it's a lot of waiting. So for this next area, the objective here is to get the Flynn's Ring and the Chloranthy Ring. Flynn's Ring is just some extra damage. Chloranthy is for stamina regeneration. Neither are strictly necessary. You can skip this part if you feel like you have enough damage, but I like to do it just because it makes some parts comfier. I like to kick Sigurd here to make the next part a bit easier. This demon sometimes will turn around. Looks like here we're good. You kind of just wait for the patrol. I grab this homeward bone here. And then I run to this part. And just stand behind this thing. Sigurd will be like, oh shit, he's going in. And the demon cannot see you here, so the demon will go aggro to Sigurd. And you can run through here. The important part is just make sure the demon doesn't see you first. Just make sure you have enough time. Even if you have to wait an extra, like, patrol, it's better to do that than risk fighting the demon. Kill these guys with fire bombs, grab 2 skulls. 2 skulls we were about to use immediately for this part. I like to go in here and then throw kind of towards the wall. And then throw another one while on this slope. And the dogs and the evangelists will both like that skull. So you can run through, grab Flynn's ring, which is really nice. It's about, I think, like 10% extra damage or something like that. So it's almost like having another like Lloyd's sword ring. 2 more bones here, and then I jump off here, backstep or roll, either works, and then Chloranthy is in this box. And then I grab these clothes because they're right here and I can sell them. Put on the rings because they're good to have. This next part we just kind of run through. Here's a soul. There's a large Titanite shard up on like this area over here. I don't get it personally, but some people like to get it. And just run through this area. This first part of the game you just get really familiar with. It's quite... it gets old. This is like the boring part. The fun part comes in a bit. Okay, you can cast Spook here. You don't need to, but I just do it anyways. And drop down here to get the Titanite shard. The big part of this next thing here is there's a dog that we have to kill, and the dogs, if you don't know, are just super scary in these games. So I run along the left side here, and then to the right of the tree, go here, throw a firebomb, lock on, roll 2 R1s, and dodge away, because sometimes those guys with the pokey sticks aggro to you early. That's the best way that I know of to do that part. So then run along the right side of that tree to avoid the crab spotting you, and then you can jump here, and the crab has not seen you. If you run along the other side there, the crab might see you. You might have to like rest at the bonfire to de-aggro it. I put on the Grasscrest shield here to run through. Very rarely this guy will follow you, this giant ogre guy. Grab the twin blades, that's the main weapon for the run. Yeah, that's a little trick you kind of pick up after the crab hits you like 5,000 times and you're just like, I wonder how to make him not do that. One note, when you're running DS3, you want to be offline on Steam as well as in the game. If you're on console, there are different strategies, but I'm on PC, so that's what I know. Basically, Yellowfinger Hazel will invade you if you're online here. So you won't be able to bone or anything like that. Okay, so now that part is done, we can... Sorry, I didn't do anything in the menu there yet. Grab this. Soul. Yeah, Newt Bag also made a mod where you can play online on Steam. So I equip the dagger here. Sometimes this crab will run toward you. If that happens, you can either dodge him or you can run up those stairs over there and kind of take the long way around. You can see he's coming over here. He won't come all the way up to this part though. And here, when they're kind of like even with each other, I throw a skull. And that guy is just going crazy. You don't have to throw a skull, you can kind of like loop them around so that they just get far enough away from the hole. Sometimes one will fall and give you souls, but not always. Run over in this area, and this is why we have the daggers for quick stepping through the poison. If you don't have quick step here, it takes freaking forever. Hug this right rock so that this guy doesn't see you, and light the first fire. There's 3 fires in this area before Abyss Watchers. Might be asking why we don't do Sage now. It's because we want a +4 set of Twin Blades so that we can have enough damage to kill Sage. So here we're waiting on patrol for this this guy to come up and turn around. And he's turned around, wait like a second, and then go. You drop down to this rock, and then 2 quick steps over here. 4 quick steps here. And 1 more quick step here. And then you should have enough for a spook still. Not necessary, you can just like drink from the flask too, but it's nice to do it like this, and then you have exactly enough FP for spook. So I'm just grabbing Titanite shards. The swamp has a ton of Titanite shards. We usually end up with 9 by the time we have to go back, which means we only have to buy 3. Like I said before, money is a bit tight in the early part of this run because we want around 19 dex for Sage as well as 15 intelligence. Grab a bonfire, have a sip, and throw another skull. And you can just run straight through to this fire and light it. Yeah, we'll go over the numbers when I level up. Don't worry. And here, just kind of fall down and run around the fire on this side and grab the shard. Don't go any further because that grew right in front of us will aggro. And over here, run this way to grab this shard. It's not a super precise line or anything you have to run. You just don't want to aggro that guy. And you can see that the poison is still active. If you are nervous about that, you can heal, but it's not necessary. 2 rotten pine resins here. We wait for this guy to turn around and cast spook. And we can just walk following him and walk over to the fire. His vision is really, really bad. So even though we were like kind of in front of him, he can't see us. Bone is ready, and we bone out. Back to the Keep Ruins bonfire. So next we're going to get the stuff we need for a +4 Twin Blades. Get our fire bombs out. This is probably over-explained for a lot of people, but I want it to be approachable from like any level. Throw 3 fire bombs here for these guys. If you kind of move yourself forward a little bit, you can hit this 3rd one once, and then you only have to do 2 R1s here. Just run around the back of him. In front, he has a couple moves that might hit you. Don't get hit by slugs. Your chat will yell at you or laugh at you. Yeah, I mean, people can just skip the section too. Like, if you already know what to do here, just like skip to Crystal Sage or something. Illusory Wall here. Grab the Dream Chaser Ashes. You don't have to do like the item skip. Just pick it up like a normal person. What's up, Alex? So up here, there's 2 large Titanite shards. And we're going to pick them up. Yeah, the first 30 minutes of the run, you fight 2 bosses in like the first 10 minutes, and then the next 20 is just kind of running around grabbing stuff. It's just like how the game's designed, unfortunately. Like with DS1, for example, like there's a boss every like 10 minutes or so you never really get bored. DS3, there's just like a long running section at the start. It's pretty unfortunate. You can kill these lizards. Charge R2 will, you know, make them flip over. You can also do a running R2. I grab these items too because I sell them. Usually this guy's further to the right. The lizards, you just want to be careful they don't fall on you. Like if they climb up a ledge or something, they have a falling animation that will actually stagger you, and that's a hit. So it's very important. I think Hob was hit by a lizard at some point. Back to Farron Keep, we need to grab one more thing before we go back. We're going to grab the golden scroll. Yeah, I'll probably do a guide for all the games eventually, Link. I want to start with DS3 because it's just the easiest one for me. I feel like every game there's like a section I'm like, ah, oh, shit, I don't know how that works actually. I was like thinking about, I was like, oh, I'll do a Demon Souls guide today. And I was like, wait, Tower Knight. I feel like not 100% on Tower Knight. So run through here. Sometimes a Basilisk will follow you. Just keep running and bone out as quickly as you can. And you can see they will not catch you. Swamp is done. So now we basically just sell everything we have. Give her the ashes. Those Dream Chaser ashes that we picked up let us buy Titanite shards. Sell the S-Talk. Sell my armor. That shield we don't need. We do need the parry shield still, so keep that around. Dude, Hob is the one who watches the hitless guides. He's not the one who makes them. Alright, 3 Titanite shards, you need 12 total. So if you missed one or picked one extra up, you know, just adjust for that. Here we will reinforce Twin Blades to +4. You can see we still can't wield them. We're about to fix that. Give Andre the Farron Coal that we picked up and put a sharp gem on the Twin Blades. Next thing we're going to do is kill Irina. It's the equivalent of 20,000 souls, so, you know, you can decide if that is worth it morally for you. It is for me. Because she gives you the tower key, which is how we can get a bunch of skulls early in the run. So at this point I put on the Twin Blades, and we're about to level up. So we want 15 int, it's like non-negotiable. And then everything else into dex. You can see here I get 20 dex. Sometimes we'll be at 19, sometimes we'll be at 18 if you like really messed up something, but in this case I can get to 20, so that's great. I'm gonna make sure I have the pine resins that I need. I do. So now my bar has these pine resins. So the next thing we're gonna do is kill a sage. We can burn our bone shards since we picked one up already. We don't have another one, so. And we can go to the Crucifixion Woods to kill Sage. Sage is a really complex boss. There's a lot of guides for knowing the crystal patterns. And that is one thing on this run that it's like probably a little above, you know, beginner level. Knowing the crystal patterns is, it takes probably like 15 minutes or something. Thanks for the follow, guys. Not paying a ton of attention to chat. This guy, you just run past him like the first guy in the game. He has the same moveset. Here I run to the right and then to the left. That didn't work super well, but you can throw a safety roll in there if you want. Talk to Orbeck, very important. As long as you have 10 int, he'll go back to Firelink. Oh, this is good, actually. This is good. So I accidentally aggroed the sorcerer down there. Usually you don't. And the sorcerer will just kind of be standing there, but this is a good case for, you know, if you fuck that up for some reason. So I res in here. And I want to go down and, oh my god, dude, where is he? There he is. So that's really awkward, right? Usually he's standing in a much better position for you. you, but it is what it is. This, run under the attack. And now we're gonna go into Sage. I'll talk about Sage after the fight is done. Two, three, four. We'll talk about it in a sec, don't worry. Okay, this is really good that we got this. Okay. Okay, so that was a lot of information in a short amount of time. So, phase 1 Sage, like when you first walk in there, you need to wait for an attack that you can punish on, usually the like the spiky attacks or the rain attack, which we didn't see in that fight. And then you just do 4 L1s, then walk anywhere over here is fine, and look at the crystals. For phase 1, Sage will never be on top of a crystal, and there's basically like 3 places that Sage can spawn. I can't like, hold on, I want to see if I can like get my display capture. There we go. So Sage can, hold on. I don't have a mouse like this. Anyway, all right, whatever, fuck it. Who cares? There are detailed guides on this, but Sage can basically spawn in 3 areas, like where my head is, like over here near the doorway, over here in the corner, or over here near like those like grave things. That particular pattern with the 2 crystals like that, I knew Sage was going to be all the way over there. But there are other patterns where Sage could be here, Sage could be here. There's a video on learning the patterns and stuff, so I recommend just kind of watching that. You get really used to it because there's literally only 3 possible things that can happen, and you just like see them after a while. So that's probably the most like complex thing in this run is the crystal patterns. So you know, I got the pattern. I went over here. I did L1 R1 L1 R1 L1, which is good if you don't have a lot of stamina. And then I usually wait here to see what the other patterns are, because then Sage at that point is in phase 2. And for phase 2 Sage, she will always spawn on top of a crystal instead of never spawning on top of a crystal. So the rule with that is if there's a crystal where that bonfire is, she will always just be there when you're looking at it from this angle. If not, you just look back here, and if there's a crystal here, that means Sage will be in this spot. If there's no crystal here, Sage will be in that spot. So again, there's literally only 3 things that can happen. So you just like remember the 3 things. And Sage, you know, we got lucky. Sage was just like right here, so it's like you don't even have to think. If the crystal's here, Sage will be here. So that is Crystal Sage. That is a horrible guide on Crystal Sage. There are much better ones on the Discord that I recommend you watch. I can link those when I make this video. So next thing we do is run up here. I like to grab these 2 guys. It's 3,000 souls for killing both of them, so why not? And then I throw a firebomb at this evangelist so that she does her long range attack. And you can tell she does it when she like puts the book away, or takes the book out, I mean, and like puts her weapon away. And then you just run past her and grab this bonfire, and we're gonna go back to Firelink because we are going to get Hidden Body, which is a huge part of this run. There are people who do not like Hidden Body or don't like that people use Hidden Body. I love Hidden Body. I've done plenty of runs without Hidden Body. I've done plenty of runs with Hidden Body. I really like using it. So here you can give the ashes, they don't give you anything important. Sell the Sage's Soul. I think you need like 11k to get everything here from Orbeck, but Orbeck is back here now, so we'll give him the golden scroll we picked up earlier. And we need to buy these specific spells. It's actually important what spells you buy. You buy Hidden Body, Aural Decoy, Pestilent Mist, Farron Flash Sword, and Spook. Even though we already have Spook, you have to buy Spook again. And the reason for that is that he will give you the Slumbering Dragon Crest ring. So the way that running sections generally work is we put on the Slumbering ring and we cast Hidden Body, and we are essentially invisible at that point. One thing to note is at this point, with all of this stuff on, you can see at the top right, we're at 31% equip load, which means it is a mid roll and not a fast roll anymore. So you can see my roll is like noticeably slower than if I take the Twin Blades off, and it's like, it's much longer. So it's good to stay under 30 if you can help it. We attune Hidden Body and then head back to Cathedral. The whole reason we kill Sage and the whole reason we do this stuff is so we can get like the Lloyd's Sword Ring, as well as like infinite skulls, quote unquote infinite, I guess. So these next parts are all going to be Hidden Body. Cast Hidden Body here and just run on the right side. Cast Hidden Body again at these plants. There's 2 dogs here. Usually you have to firebomb them. You can ignore them now. And just run along here. You don't need to cast it again for a bit. You can see our FP bar is already half done, so you only get 4 casts of Hidden Body before you have to drink. So you just run through this part, and just keep running and running. This part is not very dangerous. Every once in a while, one of those guys will take a swing at you, but they are quite slow. I like to gather stamina here before we get up to like this hollow in that rock, so that we can run past this guy on the right. This guy cannot hit you if you just run to the right. Up here, I wait like a second or something and then cast Hidden Body. And just kind of give everything a wide berth and nothing will see you. And cast it here. I'm actually going to have a quick sip. And run down here. The Estus is... I forgot to allot my Estus. I recommend allotting before you get to this part, because timing can be a bit tight. Cast it again. When you get to this part, cast it. This guy with a crossbow will aggro, but can't like rotate all the way around to shoot you, so you can just keep running at that point. Cast it here, behind the pillar, just in case you're like briefly visible for whatever reason. And this warden person thing will be on the left or right side. Just go to the opposite side and they won't see you. And that's the Cathedral running section. At this point I put the Twin Blades back on because we're going to kill this giant the slow, safe way. Chuck a firebomb. Use some resin. The giant will only do 2 attacks when it's up here, a one-handed and a two-handed. Just roll into them, rolling L1, L1. This one's better because you can get 2 hits off instead of 1. Nice, good RNG. Hopefully we get the one-handed attack. I'm sure we will. Yeah, there we go. So I kind of just like walk back. I'm like standing at the edge of the carpet, kind of on this like little hump area. I just walk back and then roll into the explosion. Just make sure you don't roll too early, otherwise it'll hit you, obviously. Kind of roll as the hand lands, and it'll be good. And there I whiffed because I didn't roll far enough in the right direction. And resin ran out, it usually does. So do a little less damage to the giant, but one more attack, we should be good. And he's dead. So that's a super safe way to do it. You can also like kind of YOLO through that part, but it is not my recommendation to do that. This guy will fireball, roll it, or strafe and roll, you know. You don't have to roll straight through it like I do. The way I do it, this guy will always be facing and walking away from you like this. So grab the soul, grab Lloyd's, and we still have slumbering on, so this guy actually can't hear us from behind, so running R1. Strafe the arrow, just run through here. Some people would go to Deacons right now. I don't like +4 Deacons, especially with the amount of stats that we have, so I choose not to do that. Low damage Deacons is really, it can get quite nasty. This guy will drop down, L1 with lock on. So we'll come to the Deacons later. You can see we do Deacons after Dancer. So once we have +9, we will come to do Deacons. First thing we do here is grab the bonfire for later when we do come back to the Deacons, and then we're gonna go get the patches trigger as well. I'll explain how that works. So over this way, up here, there's an elevator that you use to like get to like Rosaria and like, I don't know, do the patches quest line and stuff like that. You can actually trigger patches without doing the quest line, which is amazing, which gives you basically unlimited skulls. L1 that guy, L1 R1 for this guy up here, or you can backstab him, or L1 L1, that doesn't matter, he's not dangerous. That'll give you the deep ring, which is 1,000 souls to sell, and then just run up to like this archway here and bone back to the shrine. And yeah, Doug. That guy behind you will never hit you like that, the thrall. And yeah, so we basically have triggered patches to come back to Firelink by doing that, which is really weird mechanic. Here I grab like a bunch of fire bombs. You don't need a ton, but I'd like to have them. And 3 charcoal pine resin. And we can talk to the lady, get our dex up to 22 instead of 20. It's not a huge deal. And we can go now to kill the Abyss Watchers. So now is kind of where the action starts in full. For this part, Hidden Body is really nice. You have a clear route to the Abyss Watchers. You don't have to kill anybody, or you just run past everything. For the Abyss Watchers, it's mostly about controlling your greed. Obviously, there's going to be 3 of them at some times, so it's really important not to go crazy or like get frustrated with timing or anything like that. Here I cast Hidden Body and just run straight ahead. And cast it around here. Anywhere is fine, really. You just need one more cast to get through the area. And just run to the left of these guys. They won't see you. And here we can put on our Twin Blades, put on Lloyd's Ring instead of the Slumbering Ring, and get ready for Abyss Watchers. I'll make a save state here, because just in case I die or something, which I shouldn't die to Abyss Watchers, because I'm supposed to be a professional, but shit happens, dude. Abyss Watchers can get you. So I like to resin up and walk in. Usually the opener here will give you something to punish on this first guy, like this. Roll into that. 2 L1s afterwards as he's standing up. Getting used to that pattern is good to know. The 2 L1s will wake up both of these guys, and the ideal situation is that the 2 non-boss guys will fight each other. As you can see, that did not happen here. So now the boss is fighting red, and this guy is fighting us. We should be able to kill this guy easily. And you just want to go in for backstabs here. So we finish this guy off. Hopefully the boss finishes red off, and then we can fight the boss. We can go in on this, actually. The angle was weird, but... And I think that was a kill, actually. Yes. So get out of here, because phase 2 spawns close to that point. I like to re-res in here, because this guy kind of lore walks at you, and you can throw a firebomb. He'll sometimes just dodge out of the way of the firebomb, but... Yeah, so that attack's super punishable. Roll it, strafe it, whatever you want to do. Just dodge away from this stuff. Okay, sometimes he'll follow that up as well. Yeah, we got 2 super punishable attacks here, so, you know, kind of luck of the draw with the RNG on this, but you can have longer fights with this guy where he just isn't giving you anything. Okay, cool, I missed a blade there. I want to see this drag attack on the ground. See if he wants to do it. There it is. This one, you come in here and backstab. The backstab angle on that is just like fucking broken. Like you just, it's more of a timing thing than it is a visual thing. Thanks. How's it going? So that's Abyss Watchers. That's a fight you'll have to practice, because like there's just no way around it. But controlling your greed, you have so much damage, like you don't need to be greedy at all. Cast Spook here. Walk off right in front of this thing. Roll perpendicular, and then 90 degrees again. And just run through here. Skeletons will spawn, but they won't follow you. In the cases where they do follow you, I press this button, and it just kind of takes them out. I don't know if it does anything. I never look back here. Once you get to here, you can kind of just to make sure, you know, if you're paranoid about that stuff, just make sure they didn't follow you, but they never will. For this section, there's a rat down here, and then there's 3 more rats over here, so that's why we have our fire bombs. With Lloyd's Ring on, we should one-shot them. Yep. And for these guys, you know, just kind of chuck them. It's good to like kind of line your like shoulder up or something with them. I feel like that's like been the line that I use. And you can hop down. And run straight up here. You can run straight through. This thing looks scarier than it is. Just like stick to the right and you'll be fine. It's not like a super ugly hitbox or anything. You can get that bonfire if you want for safety. It's not important. I like to put on Slumbering here because we're about to use Hidden Body again. Run up to this item, cast Hidden Body. This guy will do one of 2 things. He'll either patrol around the pillar like this, or he'll just stand still. For the patrol, you just run by like this. If he stood still, you'd run over on this side instead, and like just run a straight line over here. And you can get the Twin Blades out, because we're going to fight Wolnir here. We're going to do Wolnir at +4. Some people like to do Wolnir at +7, or even +9, but it's not a huge difference, to be honest. Sip here to get to full health, and put on the ring. +4 is just a bit quicker, because you can get +4 and then go down to get +7. We'll cover that in a sec. make a save state here in case I die. I shouldn't die. Like, this is supposed to be game 5 of the God run for me, so I shouldn't die. Touch the goblet. He is inactive at the start, so put your resin on. 2 L1s here to break the first bracelet. Run forward. And we have to react to what he does now. He's going to slam, so we're going to just stand in front of him. And 1, 2, 3 here. So that's really good Wolnir RNG. That's probably the best that you're going to get. Sometimes he will do breath. Sometimes he will do a different attack there. So in general, I obviously just practice the fight. But it's good to just kind of stay in front of him and react to what he does. I don't want to reload the, like, if I was already hit, I would reload the fight and just like show you again with like worse damage or something, but in that case the RNG was really good. It's just important to stay on his hand for the most part. Okay, for the Pontiff beast here, I run up to these rocks and then turn around and bundle. And then L1, L1 as he starts his scream. And you can riposte. You can do extra L1s, you can do no extra L1s. The important thing to note, if you riposte him and he's still alive, just back off, because he'll like flail around and then he'll be like completely immobile after that. He like won't move anymore. So you just finish him off after that. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is head down to Smouldering Lake for our +7. And then we are going to kill Dancer so that we can get +9. And then we are going to annihilate everything in the game with +9. Some people don't like the +9 route. Some people prefer going to Pontiff and getting +6 from the ashes after Pontiff. If you want to do that, I'm sure there are faster guides out there, especially like Geno's or something. But this is my preferred way of doing it. How do I know so much about the God run? I run the God run. So just run a straight line here. And head through here. And the skeletons should not follow you if you run that line, but if they do, you know, just keep an eye out for it. But it's been a lot of runs, they have not followed me. So here I turn off the music, and because we need to use some audio cues here. And we just dodge the ballista, grab the first large shard, grab the second large shard, and we get another ballista. The ballista has to like rotate around and stuff, so a lot of the times it'll just get caught rotating and then it won't actually shoot at you. But just keep your eye on it. At this point you're safe, you can just run through. Hey Sebastian. Grab the twin blades here because we are going to kill this lizard. L1, R1, I think? Yeah. And then 2 more large shards here. We need 10 large shards. We actually need 9 because we're going to trade a firebomb with Snuggly for the extra one. So we have 6 so far, so we need 3 more. Smouldering Lake, the route that I do gets the exact right amount. We'll turn the music back on in a sec. I like to have it off for this section just because I need to listen. So we're listening now. There's one. There's 2. There's 3. I think you don't even need to wait there. Like there's not really an angle for it to hit you at that point, but I like to wait just for safety. 1, 2, 3. We run behind this tree right in front of us. The ballista will rotate and will not shoot at us. And hug the tree and we're fine. 2 and go. And roll like kind of when you get to that branch. If you go late there, you'll need to roll earlier, obviously, because the ballista will be closer to hitting you. Here I go to the emote menu and just swap in something I can use to sit behind the worm. I see the ballista is rotating, so I know I'm safe to run over here. Safety rolls just in case. And you can just sit down here, lower your whatever hitbox, I guess, so that the ballista hits more often, but this is where you chill out and talk to chat. Or get water, which is usually what I do. We only have 2 more shards to grab. This guy also gives you an undead bone shard, which is nice, because your sips will fill up more. Oh man. Boom. And he's dead. You can roll out of the emote. And here's a shard here. 3 more shards, that is, not 2. Wait at the tree for 3 of the bolts. 2. And 3, and run over to this thing. Keep your eye on the ballista, because sometimes it'll shoot early. Instead of rotating. 1, 2, and 3. You can bone here, but just to be safe, you can just wait out another volley. You also don't have to dodge through the bolts like I do. That's more for style points than anything else. You can just like dodge from side to side and stuff. Okay, and we are ready to go to Dancer now to get +9 and a bunch more souls as well. Here I buy the resin, get some more of these, grab all the skulls as well. Good to get some resin, some charcoal resin as well, and some bundles later for DSA. Grab a couple bones, because I always end up being short on those. Sorry, Firekeeper. And I don't know, I'll just grab the gold pine bundles too. It doesn't really matter. Like you can see at this point, we have like 100,000 souls before I started buying things, so like you're completely fine. We need to do tree jump again here because we are going to swap our black firebomb for a chunk and our regular firebomb for a large titanite shard. Oop, that was another firebomb. Okay. So there's our chunk. There's our large shard. Be careful like running there, because if you get a menu canceling your run, you will just roll off the edge. Ask me how I know. Since we're already here, we're going to do the tower. We've already triggered patches, so we need to do this small part of the patches quest to get him to sell us skulls. You can see the doors open and hop on the elevator, and basically like here you can bone. You can watch the door close autonomously. Patches doesn't even close it. So now we have enough for +7. We have 10 shards and 2 chunks. We're already at +4, so that is enough for +7. You can see our damage is just like completely skyrocketing at this point. It's good to allot Estus here to give yourself another Estus. I like to do that before the Cathedral running section, but you know, better now than never, I guess. So at this point we can go up to like 36-ish decks, 35 here. I'll sell. I like round numbers, so I'll sell like those and sell these things that I bought that don't matter. And we can get 36. I like even numbers, I guess I should say. We only ever go to 40 decks in the run, so it's, you know, we're basically at full strength at this point. We can burn the other bone shard we had and travel to Vordt. So we have almost 40 decks, +7 weapon with Lloyd's Ring and gold pine resin, so Dancer is pretty much a non-factor. So here I put on my stealth gear, hidden body, and the slumbering ring. You don't have to hidden body this part, it's just like you have it, so why not? And just reapply it on these stairs. Anywhere is fine. And you can just run through this like giant gap between these guys, they won't see you. Put the twin blades back on. Oh yeah, something to note is sometimes you'll get stuck on this door. So if you're being chased, it's good to roll through the door to try to like force yourself in, kind of. So yeah, here's the setup. This is the setup for most of the bosses. It's going to be Damage Ring, Chloranthy, and Pontiff's Right Eye. Pontiff's Right Eye is really good because if you keep attacking, it boosts your damage up to 10%. So it's quite good, especially on curved swords. Kill the lady. Grab the basin and the blue thingy. And then you can just walk up to this statue and buff, and the Dancer fight will start. The important thing about Dancer is to stay behind her. Generally, you want to be like behind on the right side, like her right. That way, it limits the amount of moves that she can do. If you're in front of her, she can like slap you. They're really like fast, like hand attacks that come out. So you'll see my positioning. I will sometimes not even attack just to get my positioning to be in a better spot for Dancer, because it really is just all about that. But she'll either walk left or right at the start of the fight. You can see she walks right, so I'm just here on her right side, on her butt. Wait for an attack, punish. Wait for an attack and punish. She will idle sometimes. You can punish the idles as well. And here she turned the other way, so I'm insisting that we stay on the right side even though the camera doesn't want us to. She doesn't want us to. We just kind of wait here. And we're gonna get phase transition. Yeah, you can see the idol, like she'll even ignore her phase transition for the idol, which is, I really use that sometimes to do a ton of damage on phase. Back to the butt here. And we get a stagger. So we actually were almost able to completely one cycle her, but we had to fight a little bit of phase 2. Phase 2 is much faster than phase 1. It is good to like spend a little time learning phase 2 just in practice and stuff, but the general idea stays the same. Again, it's tough on these fights because it's just like you do so much damage that it's a bit of RNG just to kind of like show you everything they can do. If I had been hit already, I would just like do the fight like 3 times or something to show you, but because we're on a live run, I kind of wanted to see if we can get it. Put Slumbering back on because we're going to use Hidden Body a few times in this running section. This is some amount of souls. If you hug the right side with Slumbering, this guy won't aggro. You just head down the elevator right away. Don't have to wait for him or anything. Cast Spook here so I can drop down sooner. This section's on a bit of a timer, so you kind of want to run through this quickly. Chunk here. And the timer is basically for these guys up here there's a Pus of Man and a Hollow. And you really don't want this Pus of Man to be out here yet. So we're very fast. The Pus of Man is still under the bridge, so we're completely fine, but that's how it be. Grab the chunk. I like to jump off there. That's like a no damage strat that I figured out. Third chunk here. This Pus of Man should not aggro to you, but it's easy to avoid if he does. Yeah, I have SL1 no hit most of the games. Hey, Faladrin. And Matt. Grab a skull here because we're going to use it on this part. You don't strictly need to, but I just do it. Again, this is a comfy guide. Like, this is not a this is not some like sicko speedrun guide. This is like, I really need a comfy game to play as game 3 of a trilogy. So throw that skull against that wall. Make sure to avoid the dart that guy shoots there. Grab the chunks and open the door. The guys should not follow you. Oh yeah, I have SL1 trilogy. That's right. Thanks for the reminder. So we can head back here. You can also just bone out if you want. You don't have to do that part, but make sure you keep slumbering on. That's the important part. Let's grab this soul. And I just kind of wait at this thing here. You don't have to roll through that. That was just for funsies. Once I can kind of see this guy's like body, I will cast hidden body here and run past. And the reason for that is you just kind of want to avoid this guy. Okay, don't do that. Just run by him. I don't know why I tried to roll through him. I've never tried that before, but apparently he doesn't like it very much. So literally just run by him. He cannot see you. Don't be stupid like me. For this part, I like to just kind of chill here, pop a soul or something. And eventually we're going to skull the wall here. These two are actually kind of dangerous because the one guy has a shield. So it's good to just kind of get in here and annihilate him. Sometimes he will run toward the skull. Just make sure you can kill him cleanly. L1 for these guys. Avoid that. L1. 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 Grab the chunk and wait. You can take twin blades off. So the next part is just hidden body. There's a spear guy up here. We're kind of just waiting for him to walk past us. Again, it's not strictly necessary. You can just run by with hidden body. I just don't like to mess up the timing of things. So wait for him to advance a little bit. Cast hidden body. Here I also throw a skull just because these archers are absolutely fucked. And then run up the steps here. Don't run anywhere near those stairs. Just stay over here. And then that's what's called armor skip, is you just run up the armor there. Hidden body here before this archer up here would see you, this guy. Run into the corner. Hidden body again and have a sip. And you can run. You can grab this soul or skip it. It doesn't really matter at this point. We have so much cash. Hidden body before the archway. You have plenty of time. Run up to like this railing here. Hidden body again. And throw a skull right over in this area. These guys are on an event trigger, so they will kind of like go after something no matter what. So I just maximal safe strats to avoid them. Skull for that guy, not necessary, but why not? Again, this is a comfy run. This is not some like speed. Oh, that technically was not a necessary. It's like, no, bitch, I wanted to do it. I don't want to die. What's up, everyone? Run through here, grab the red tearstone ring. This, like, the sword guy that I sculled, he has never followed me since I started sculling him, but he used to follow me before I sculled him, so I just kind of keep my eye on that area just in case. Elevator down. And have a sip here for Lloyd's Ring. Grab Pontiff Right Eye. Just kind of, we're gonna kill this Pus of Man down here, so that's what we're getting ready for. So Spook, and then Charcoal Pine Resin, and drop down. 1, 2, 3 here, L1s, and roll away. Grab the soul, wait for him to do something, and just punish this tail here. So wait for the tail to kind of stand still, and you can just attack it. And then hop down here, and we get the rest of our chunks. And bone back to Firelink. So that's our +9. We can go kill the Deacons now. Sell everything. Like I said, we have so much money at this point, like, you can kind of buy whatever you need if you forgot something. That's +9. We're going to dump the rest into Dex and Endurance. So 40 Dex here. After 40, it really starts to fall off. You can see, like, we're getting three Dex per point here, and then we start to get 1. So you can still get like levels from leveling this. It's not like horrible, but it's not as much. And endurance is much more important in this run anyways. I leave a little bit of money here because I want to buy some skulls from patches. So the skulls are 800, so to buy 10 you need 8,000. I have 18,000. I think I'm just gonna blow it all on skulls and firebombs. Maybe I'll get like 15 skulls. I don't know. I'll get 10 black firebombs and then blow the rest on skulls. Why not? And you can see we're mid-rolling. I always forget to adjust that. I'm really weird about what slot everything is on. Like, I get really uncomfortable when my weapon's on my second slot. Okay, so we're gonna go kill Deacons. We have a bunch of skulls, which is kind of the main thing you need to kill them. Remember, there's this guy up here that drops down. Another L1 or an R1 will kill him. I like L1 just because it's vertical. You're like sure it's gonna hit, you know? Swap here to the dagger. You don't have to be like running or anything. You're not on a timer. And I like to just kind of quick step towards his foot because he will generally move to where you kind of just walk past him. RNG is kind of a big factor there. You can get really weird RNG where stuff just like blocks you. So something to be aware of. I generally have not had issues with that after like hundreds of runs and stuff, so it's not, don't like worry too much about it. All right. Yeah, so for Deacons, the strategy is going to be to just throw skulls against the like big tomb that's in there. We basically will be throwing a skull, killing a Deacon, throwing a skull, killing a Deacon, throwing a skull, killing a Deacon, and then phase 2 will spawn, and then we just do 4 or 5 L1s, and the fight is over. So you'll see it. It's going to be pretty quick. I throw this skull immediately when I walk in. And I wait because they might fireball that skull, and then I throw another one. And I go L1. And throw another one. Yeah, this is bad RNG here, so I'm going to wait here. Throw another skull. It's kind of hard to get in sometimes. Yeah, and if too much time passes, obviously they will stop being attracted to the skull. It's kind of good we're getting like horrible RNG here. because it can show you kind of the worst case for the fight where you can't reach the Deacons. So L1, Skull. Yeah, and you can see this one spawned on a Deacon that isn't even over here. Skull again. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And I throw in a roll just in case there's a fireball that hits me, but you can see even with like horrible RNG there, like we were still completely fine. So if it gets really bad, if it gets really, really horrible and you're just like so fucked, you can just bone. Like throw a skull and bone out. It's like I haven't killed any Deacons and I only have 3 skulls left, then just bone out. It's like no shame in boning out. It's faster to bone out and then just run back to Deacons than it is to restart the entire run, so. Deacons are dead. That's like, that fight that just happened is probably in the bottom 10% of fights that you'll get for Deacons. Like generally, they just spawn right in front of you, you kill them and throw skulls and it's fine. So for Irithyll, we're going to run straight through because we have Hidden Body. It's really, really nice. This is not the fastest run in the entire world, but I never realized how hard it is to explain what you're doing as you're doing it. So Hidden Body at the top of the stairs, run to the left. Hidden Body right here. Run over this way. Onto this like snow mound thing, Hidden Body again. And I kind of wait. These Fire Witches have really good vision, so it's hard to know exactly when to go, but once you're over here, nothing can see you. So even if you become visible briefly, it's fine, but recast. At that point, stay right here so that Pontiff Knight doesn't see you. This is like 3k souls or something. If you want to pick it up, doesn't really matter at this point. And we're just running straight through. I need to like, dude, just take like a quick 30-second like voice break, because like my fucking voice is gonna get shot at the end of today. Roll through here, roll through these barrels so nothing can hit you. I like to run to the left of these guys here, throw in a roll if you feel like it. They won't ever hit you, but if it makes you feel better, feel free to do it. 3 blossoms here, nice to have. Not necessary at all. And a little trick for this part, so exhaust your stamina and then just hold down B, and then you can kind of run without using any stamina. So instead of being like stuck in the water, you can at least run a little bit. What's up, Dane? Yeah, we're doing a guide, dude. DS3 guide. And the Distant Manor bonfire is super important because it links Pontiff and Yhorm. We don't need anything, so we can just head back this way. I like to take off Slumbering here for this running section, because you actually want them to hear you and aggro to you. Recover stamina for this part and run through. Looks very scary. Generally, you will be fine there. The only thing that can hit you is the last of those centipede guys. Sometimes you will need to like run to the right to strafe it. That is really, really, really rare though. Like maybe 1 in 100 runs or something like that. Slumbering back on. And I Hidden Body at this pillar. That knight won't follow you. And if you know this next part, you know that there are a bunch of dogs and stuff that come after you, so Hidden Body, before we get to that point, run to this light post here, Hidden Body again, and sip. Run up here, hidden body at this part. Stay to the right and then cut to the left to avoid the dogs. And then go behind this railing, hidden body. Head up through this section. You can do this entire section with skulls. That's what I do for SL1. So you can't get hidden body on SL1, but it's really nice to use hidden body if you have it, obviously. Hidden body again on the stairs, and then you can just run to the right past this guy. It's really OP, yeah. Done runs with it, done runs without it. Why did the NPC not invade? Offline on Steam. Important to be offline on Steam. Okay, so this is Pontiff. I never remember if this is a 1 parry or a 2 parry Pontiff. Maybe I'll do it without resin, and then it can be a 2 parry. So what's going to happen here is we're going to come in, parry the opener, post. He will do 1 of 2 attacks. We'll parry whichever attack. Riposte again. 4 L1s in the back, 3 or 4 L1s. I like doing 3 a little bit. Maybe we'll bundle for the end. I always do it with resin, so I should just do it with resin, right? I'll just do it how I always do it. So we'll see how it goes. I've been kind of fucking this up lately, so parry the opener. 1021 should be fine for a 2 parry. There we go. That's 1 of 2 attacks he can do. That's actually the... Yeah. So 2 parry, you just completely annihilate him. Maybe next time I'll try the 1 parry, but the 2 parry you don't even have to deal with phase 2 at all, which is really nice. Yeah, welcome in, guys. I'm not interacting a ton with chat because I want the guide to be coherent. Okay, so that was Pontiff. The parries, they look scary. They look very scary. They can be scary on a run for sure, but just trust yourself. If it helps at all, the timing is when you would think it would be. It's not like weird where it's like you have to adjust early or late. It's like do the timing that feels right, and it should work out. 1 skull here, 1 skull here, and then a 3rd skull back on these stairs. You don't want those guys to follow you. Hidden body here, and you can run up the rafters. Hidden body here. Then knights will not see you. Pull the lever. The running section for Aldrich is pretty simple. There's like 1 meme. Well, there's multiple memes, but there's only 1 you like would have to ever worry about. Dude, Ramses is snoring so hard right now. It's really cute. Do 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 do. Starts to do balls. He shouldn't get to that point ideally. So set up our TSR here. You can just kind of walk off like that. And walk off again. You might have a little health left over. If you don't do it perfectly, you can run off of this ledge against the lever, and it'll like just give you a very small amount of fall damage. He should never, well, we can talk about that when we get there. Aldrich should never lead with magic if you're fast enough. For this part, hidden body at the bottom of the stairs. Not very precise. Just run by this guy. You can also just run by and strafe him too, if you don't have hidden body, but this whole run is based around having hidden body, so I'm going to assume that you have hidden body if you're following this guide. Get our Pontiff right eye out. And yeah, for this part down here, there's going to be 3 Deacons that are kind of like throwing fire at you. Generally, they are really bad at aiming and will never hit you. Every once in a while, they will get a really good angle, like through these pillars, and you have to like be aware of that. So you can see the 3 that are like kind of on the ground floor right now. They're already shooting. When you come down here, turn your camera around already. You're ready for it. There it is. Roll it just in case. Don't see anything here. Roll just in case. And the rule for Aldrich is we're going to do around like 1700 damage to him. The number, because we have so much damage, it is not very precise. So that's 380. 1027, that's like 1400. That's definitely enough. This is the attack we wait for. Wait for it long if you need to. And we just completely annihilate Aldrich. So that attack where he comes back and then like sweeps forward with the sword is the attack we want to punish. You can see there, like, even if we had done like, I don't, like, you know, 1200, 1100, 1000 damage, we still would have killed him. So if you see that attack, just go in. Unless it's like the very first attack he does. Yeah, lightning does a bit more damage than fire. Like, resistances play a role, but like as raw base damage, lightning does more damage than fire. Okay, now we are going to Yhorm. Cast hidden body here. Once he does that attack, you just dodge it and then just L1 on him. Just L1, 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 L1. You'll notice I didn't level up after Pontiff. You can level up to get even more endurance and even like make it even more guaranteed if you want to. I just like chose not to. We're gonna use hidden body for Irithyll Dungeon. Come up to this like cell here and cast it. Wait for this guy to move. Scripted guy there, doesn't aggro to you. Cast hidden body again. Walk around this guy, stay on the right side. This guy's usually on the left. They never see you. In here and grab the pale pine resin. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, MNRT. I don't really know if there's a modern hidden body guide out there. Avoid this guy, just stay on the right. That's scripted. Like, he'll do that same thing every time. Okay, and so this is he came up to the fucking thing, dude. This is a dungeon skip. So all you have to do is like walk up on that thing and then walk down here on the railing and hop into this area. There's plenty of room for you to stand here. You can see like I have plenty of room, so you're not gonna like fall off. Basically the way that I do it is I will face with like my body, like the back facing into like this wall here and this wall here. That'll kind of adjust you as you fall. So all you do is go here, cast spook, and you can see it adjusted me right onto that platform. So if you land on that platform, you live. If you land on the stairs, you die. That's the deal. So always backstep like into the wall and let the wall adjust you onto that platform. Yeah, there's a bunch of different setups for dungeon skip, so that is by far not the definitive one. That's just the one that I use. This guy runs straight down the middle. If he charges at you, strafe it to the right. you run straight down the middle, he will never hit you. So I'm told. I still have my skepticism about that. But I've never been hit doing that, so if that's any consolation. I'm waiting until I get hit to adjust the strat, which is what I do a lot. You don't need to get this bonfire or rest here, but I'm going to just because why not? Again, this is not some psycho speed guide. Like I just want a comfy route that anybody can pick up and run. The only thing that's weird in this route is Crystal Sage. If you're not familiar with Crystal Sage, it's kind of weird. So once you get here, run over to this part where you're going to get blocked by the fireball, spook, and throw a skull. The fire will aggro the skull, and then you simply go forward and drop down like this. And you survive that fall. And I like to wait a second here for the witches to kind of get situated. Or whatever they are. Are they jailers or something? Outrun this fireball. It's not very fast, and it can catch you if you're like really close to it, but it's not going to catch you under normal circumstances. Get your ring sorted out. We have Lloyds for this fight. And I like to use the pale pine resin that we picked up for Yhorm. You can use a gold pine resin if you want, but we only have like 4 of those in the run, so... Yeah, and for Yhorm, it's all about hitting his left hand, so the hand that's on the right side. And then he will stagger eventually. Sorry, his right hand, so it's on the left side. He will stagger eventually. So we'll show you how to do this. This is one of his main moves. Just L1 that hand. The big thing to be worried about with Yhorm is his stomp move. Comes out very fast and can be difficult to react to. The main thing I watch for the stomp move is his left hand, so this hand over here on the right side. If it goes up, like kind of in like a punching motion, that's kind of like what you need to be aware of. So I just kind of do this, put some damage in on him. And let's hope he does it. I'll try to bait it. No. Yeah, on this attack, just run through his legs, or you can run away from it, but in that position, I didn't like the positioning there. So here I like to stay kind of attached to his left leg. Because he'll either do that slam down or he'll do the stomp. And it looks like we didn't get the stomp this time, which is really unfortunate. Because I wanted to show you guys that, but... He has a quick move. It's a stomp. It comes out quickly. It's just important to watch his left hand, because if it goes up like this, you know he's going to stomp down. So yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to get him to do it, but I also needed to need the video not to be 5 hours long. So we got a shit ton of souls. Let's go spend them before DSA. With DSA, there's a number basically that pushes them into phase 2. It's around 1360. So I usually go around like 1300. Sell everything. I don't think we need these. We have bundles. Actually, we can use these for princes. We have bones, we have fire bombs. We'll grab the human pine resin. Why not? And the rest we can just dump into levels. We have plenty of skulls. It's always good to check skulls. We definitely don't need 8 for the rest of the run, so. Here, I just dump everything into endurance. If you get 29, I think 29 is a special number. I'm pretty sure that lets you do 6 L1s, which is not relevant at all, but I remember for like Aldrich, I always wanted to have 29 endurance, so I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see it's barely enough for 6. So it's not that important. DSA can be tough. There's a couple things to keep in mind for DSA. especially if you have to fight phase 2 at all. Generally, the RNG kind of works out where you don't, where you have to fight minimal phase 2. There's also like a script for like, if you have like 55 decks or something, you can script him, but I'm not a huge fan of scripts if I can avoid them, unless they like work on every boss all the time or something, or on every run. So for DSA, we're going to set up our TSR, and does McSwoozy go away? No, McSwoozy doesn't go away. Absolutely not. It's an integral part of the run. That is funny that that's going to be in the guide. I didn't even think about that. That's just my God run image. He just does that. Okay, so for this, for our TSR, just jump off the top here. How much do we have left? 235. Should be fine. And then just run off here. Yeah. Leveling dexterity lowers the amount of fall damage that you take, so you have to do a little more than you'd have to do for like SL1, for example. All right, so for DSA, the idea is to do 1,350 damage on phase 1, and then grab a bundle, and we'll execute kind of a specific combo on him to take vast majority of his health away for phase 2. Phase 2, you will have butterflies, like these butterflies over here will start shooting at you, and there's like audio cues for the things that they do. For a leveled run, it's not generally a problem, but for like SL1, you have to fight a lot of phase 2. So DSA also has a lot of strafes. It's good to know those strafes because they let you get a bunch of punishes off. But we'll just go in and just see how it goes. Okay, come in here. We always just run like a U-turn around him like this. 1, 2. That's a strafe. 3. That's another strafe. So I've done 1044 damage to him. His main attack, I'll try to get him to do his main attack. This is his main attack. It's like a 3-piece combo, and he just runs over you. And you can get 2 or 3 L1s off on that, depending how fast you are. So 1044, if I divide that by 3, that's like 350 an attack roughly. So I'll do an R1 here. Yeah, so that's pretty good. He's like kind of set up. I've done about 1,250 damage to him, but I feel like that's fine. So I can punish that attack. I wanted to see if he's going to do anything differently. We can go in on this. 1, 2, 3. Walk around him. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just run to his back like that. And you can usually strafe that, but in that case I was kind of in a weird position, so I just killed him immediately. And get behind him. But if you run like on his left side and behind him, he almost always does that shield slam, and it goes over him, so you can just stand in front of him and wail on him. I know that fight went super fast, and I'm sorry, because like a lot of these fights have gone super fast. You'll usually get an RNG like that, but not always. So it's really important to practice. No matter what you do, you got to practice these fights. But yeah, now we're into the archives. I parry this sage. I don't know if you have to. I parry the sage in basically every run, so I don't really worry about the damage or anything. Just run under whatever happens here. And this guarantees you can kill the Sage easily. The parry timing is pretty not bad. Swap in everything that I need. So a bunch of hidden body. Actually, I need twin blades here. So we're gonna kill a couple guys. Just running L1 on that guy is fine. Turn the music back on. Running L1, R1 on this guy. And you can run to the ladder over here. There's a guy patrolling up here. He's on a timer, so we have to wait at the ladder anyways. So if you lose a little time here, it doesn't really matter. Climb up to the kind of almost top rung here and just chill out. Hi, Katie. I love you. We're recording a guide. And we're just going to wait for this guy to turn around. You can also, he can't even see you at this point, so you could just climb up and run into that corner over there, but I just wait at the ladder. Doesn't really make a difference. And at this point, we're done with the twin blades until the bosses, so we can just wait here. He does this fake turnaround, don't fall for it. Because he like knocks over those books or something. And then keeps walking forwards. And here's his actual turnaround. Climb the ladder. Walk forward a bit. Lock on. It should be 4 firebombs or 3 firebombs, something like that. Yeah. Cool. At this point, you can heal. Sorry, that's my girlfriend. Actually, I'm not sorry that's my girlfriend. I'm proud that that's my girlfriend. Hidden body here. I throw a safety skull, because why not? Just in case this guy with the firebomb wants to aggro me for once. Again, this isn't like some like, you know, technically not necessary, you can barely strafe this attack guide. This is like, you want to be really comfy and not have to worry about these running sections at all. Yeah, Mixed Through Lust is going to be a big part of the guide. I take off Slumbering here so this guy turns around and then I can just run past him. This guy, you just run that exact line that I ran and you'll never be hit. Kind of just want to run into them so that they do an attack that you just run past. It's a section you'll get more comfortable with as you do it more. It's good to practice the archives. Pop a branch around here and just kind of go between these two like pillars here. The reason is this gargoyle is super, super annoying. Once he starts moving, you stop moving. Put on Slumbering again. Yeah, we're actually hitless too, which is funny. So we could use this guide, and then we're also on game 2 of the God Run. There are more chunks here if you need them for some reason. You shouldn't though. Hidden body here. You don't need a safety skull. Run on the left side. Nothing will aggro you. You can even look back if you want. See, they can't see you. Okay, I love you. Hidden body here for the statue. Just run on the right side to avoid these NPCs. You can grab this elevator if you want to. No reason to, really. I grab it just because I always have and I'm stubborn. For this section, hidden body here. Run forward to the left, avoid these guys, and then just run between these things so that nothing sees you. Hidden body here. You can see nothing sees me. Nothing is aggroed. Up the stairs on the right. You can hidden body here as well. You don't have to strictly. You can just run past these guys, but it's nice to have another cast there. Send this down. You don't need to ride it down. And we're going to do Prince's Cheese. You can fight Princes legit. I've fought them legit a lot. but it's not necessary, so I don't do it, especially since DS3 is going to be late in my god run. So what we need to do is bone out of princes. The button prompt for the bone, you don't want to press square and then press X like immediately, because it'll like it'll kind of eat your input. You want to like wait like a split second before you press it. It's like this. Like just don't like jam it like, because that's not going to work. You're going to get hit. Also, my buttons are mapped incorrectly on the controller, so ignore that. But you basically go in, immediately press the bone button, wait like a pause, like a very, very small amount of time, and then press the like A or X button to bone back to the shrine. It's pretty tight. People have been hit doing it. Hob, I think, famously got hit on like game 5 or 6 of a god run or something, doing this. So it is finicky a bit. Oh, I got hit. Oh, I actually got hit, dude. Did I get hit? Wait, does it count? I got hit, but we're gonna count that as a hit. Okay, so I waited too long there, dude. It's been a long time. I waited a split second too long. That's what I'm talking about. If you overthink it, you can really get fucked doing that. And I can't redo it either because I'm fucking stupid. Wait, actually, since we got hit, I will quickly. I think I have a split for the Prince's Bone. So I can show you guys what it should look like if you do it good. Yeah, there we go. So run in, bone. Yeah, and that's what it's supposed to look like. Just do it like that every time. Like, I overthink it and then I'm just in a weird spot. I'll show you one more time. Thanks for me. I don't want to count, like, this isn't, I feel like this doesn't count, but I don't know. You can add it to the website, I guess. Because I would never run DS3 first unless I really needed a dub for some reason. You can see we're out like a long time before we even need to worry about it. So, yeah. We'll load in and do the Prince's Cheese now. It sucks. If I wasn't hit there, I didn't want to like invalidate the run by quitting out and stuff. But now we've been hit, so it's so weird because it's like we don't get staggered and we don't take damage, so it's like, is it a hit? But there's an audio cue and it's clear that we did get hit, but we didn't get staggered out of the bone. And I think we've had an argument in the Discord about whether or not that should be a hit or not, but I personally would not feel good having a god run with that in it, so I'm just gonna say it's a hit. But do it like I did it the second and third time, where there's just no question. Just make sure you don't spam X is like the only thing. Oh, the health bar went down? Okay, cool. Roll into the fog wall, and you just stay over here. And he will just continue to do this attack. You will have to roll it once he gets to the fog wall. So you can kind of like time it out as he approaches. And kind of move the camera. So just keep walking along the fog wall. He'll always try to like port behind you. It's just how this cheese works. After like 3 or 4 hits, I'll wait a pause because I don't want to stagger him. At this point, if I do stagger him, I'll be able to finish him off, so it's not a big problem. Yeah, see, I staggered him there. It's no big deal. For phase 2, stick along the fog wall again. There's going to be these like things that shoot up. Once you hear them start to go pew, 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 you just start rolling along the fog wall. And you'll avoid them. Buff up again, get the timing down in your head. I think he gets more poise in phase 2 or something, but and you can bone out after you hear the like so dude, that's crazy. I've not been hit on the Prince's Bone in like forever. I'm gonna do a lower damage Cinder just so we can see more moves and stuff. Because sometimes you just get like an amazing RNG Cinder and it's just like, well, that wasn't very helpful. So you can see even with like slowing down and dying and stuff, this run is like an hour 50. So that it should be sub 2 hours, like kind of almost no matter what you do. You don't have to do those fancy Cinders placements. So place the 4 Cinders. Here's an easy RTSR setup. It is consistent for leveled runs and not for SL1 because we have barely enough decks to not die doing this. Sell anything you want to sell. After you place the 4 Cinders, she sells a Titanite slab that you can buy for +10. I am not going to upgrade to +10, but you can upgrade. I want to have lower damage for the fight. Actually, I think I'll even sip here so that I'll just take off RTSR maybe. Level up even more if you want. Oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. Level up some more decks or some more endurance, whatever you feel like leveling up. So I'm gonna do Cinder with like no resins and anything. I'll take off my rings too, so you can just kind of like, we have a longer fight that we can look at. So the first phase of Cinder, there's like four main phases that Cinder has that he can kind of like go between as he wants. He always starts in sword phase, which is like kind of quick sword attacks as well as like a flame sword. He's got a sorcery phase where he shoots at you. It's very punishable, but he also will summon soul masses that are very challenging when comboed into another phase. He has a spear phase that is also very punishable, but he can heal in that phase. And then he has a curved sword pyromancy phase that is basically not punishable outside of a couple attacks. So we'll just go in and fight him for a bit without any buffs or rings or anything like that, and just try to get an idea of the attacks. So this slam attack, it's good to roll into and dodge. Fire sword, dodge. Backhand, dodge out and in. This is a slam, you can run around it or dodge into it. Here's the running around strat. You can get a couple punishes off if he does that. On this, I L1, dodge, L1. And here he staggers. Normally you can punish big on the stagger, you know, but I kind of want a longer fight here. Okay, here's Curve Sword. So he buffs immediately. Whenever he buffs like this, just run up to him and hit him with an L1. On these attacks, just keep running away. You can run or dodge. The only thing with running is you might hit one of the rocks in the arena. Like if I'm running like this and I hit this rock, you know, I'm gonna die. That was a very quick curved sword, but he can chase you around for a bit. So sword phase has these long range attacks, and you can come in and he'll do short range attacks. They're very quick. It takes a bit of practice to punish spear phase and not get roll caught by that, for example. On this, dodge into like a 7 o'clock. Punish that. I'm not punishing it because I want the fight to be long. Let's see if he'll heal, maybe. On this, just dodge into it. Spear phase takes the most practice, just to kind of get the timings. Like this is very scary as well. Oh nice, we got sorcery here. So sorcery, we can show you the punishes. So he'll do this attack a lot. Let's wait for him to summon the soul mass. Here it goes. So there's a soul mass. You can see it kind of just comes out and attacks you. He can combo this into other phases. So it's really good to stagger him out of soul mass if you can. So there's a stagger. The soul mass went away, but if he had switched into like sword phase or something, things would have gotten really ugly. Because then he'd be doing sword attacks with the soul mass around him. So here's sword phase again. Into or away from that is fine. Here's the slam. We saw that earlier. Into or away is fine. Thrust, make sure to run away. Or dodge into it, I mean. On that fire sword attack, he can do up to 3 in a row. It's usually positioning based, so he doesn't generally do that. Here's curved sword. Yeah, and this one, just run away. So here he's gonna buff. You can go in, hit him with an L1. Here's spear phase again. Maybe we could see more like long range attacks here. Dodge into that. That's the punishable attack right here, L1. Dodge past that. See if he can give us anything weird. Punishable, L1 right here. This is also punishable, but I don't like dodging it like that. That attack's scary, just kind of dodge into it. So at long range on that, I'll dodge away and then dodge into it. You dodge into that. And there's phase 2. So here you would buff, use a green blossom, whatever. He's always going to jump and do this 2-handed attack, unless you like input bait him with a throwable or something. 2 L1s and run away. 1, 2, and run. Buff here if you want as well. Usually I'll do a bundle for that first jump and then I'll put on a resin. 2-handed jump is punishable. Grab is punishable. Grab is punishable. Careful on these attacks. They're very quick. It's good to dodge away from them. You can like bite him with those. There's the 2-handed again. He loves this thrust attack. It's good to dodge to the right on this, and he'll usually do that follow-up as well, so just kind of strafe it, and here he's going to do his big combo again. He's probably going to jump back. That combo and the jump back are on a timer. He didn't do it. What a dick. Now he's going to do it. This is punishable, L1 there. Yeah, see here he does the jump back. That was me being cocky. Couple hits and run backwards. Run to the side and dodge. I would never do that on an actual run, like just assume he's gonna do an attack, because he's definitely not guaranteed. It's just like on a timer. Dodge into lightning, hit him. Dodge into lightning, hit him. He can do a follow-up, hit him again. Grab, punishable. Here, I staggered him. I can finish him off, obviously. I want to see if we can get a kick from this. Oh, there was a kick. That kick comes out so fast. Okay, so here's another, get away from me attack. What's up, Cassie? And Silius. Oh yeah, here. So here he does the lightning without jumping back because we're already really far away from him. So It's good to wait as long as you can on that, just because... Sorry, just want to see. There's the grab. We can finish him off here, obviously. We could have finished him off a few times. That you can dodge into. Cinder just it takes the most practice of any of the bosses. He's very complex. You can think you know what he's doing, and then he just decides to fuck you, you know? He's a very complex boss. So here he's doing the lightning again. I'd go up and punish him, but I'll just stand back here so I can show you the lightning dodge. We're running, and roll. Second roll is kind of unnecessary. We can finish him off here. So yeah, that's Dark Souls 3. Even with like a 8-minute Cinder, that's, you know, like under 2 hours for the entire run with like pausing and stuff. So if I didn't get hit by the fucking bone out, it would have been hitless, but it is what it is, dude. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, you know, it's just it's a game you got to practice, make save states, especially like DSA and Cinder and stuff like that. So yeah, this will be on YouTube.